Fashionista, fashionista, fashionista. I come take a picture.
Yes, family, welcome to episode 3. Welcome to Unique Sessions. Today I'm talking about a very interesting question. To be honest, we talk about it all the time as Christians anyway. We talk about all sorts of stuff. But one thing that always comes back up is, why do we struggle as Christians? Why do we struggle to be celibate? Why do we struggle to please God? Why do we struggle to not look at ourselves? Why do we struggle to love someone? Why do we struggle to look at someone else above ourselves? And for a lot of people who don't believe, some of these questions may not mean anything, but just listen for a moment. If you're not a Christian, just listen for a moment. Yeah? All right. Why do we struggle? I'll start it this way. As a Christian, we're supposed to abide by certain principles in our lives, because a lot of people think the Bible is restrictive. It's not restrictive. It's guidelines you live by to make your life, more narrow, more straightforward, and more controlled for your sake. Okay, let's put it this way. Imagine a lot of people have cheated on their spouses or the people they're in relationships with. And that is a struggle in my opinion. A lot of people say, yeah, it was, you're trying to convince your lady once you cheat. Oh, it was just a mistake. Oh, I didn't mean to. It was a flop. I just messed up. It'll never happen again. But I just recently learned that kind of thing's not a mistake. You don't accidentally fall into her. Sorry to be graphic, but you don't. It's not a mistake. You're not walking along, whoops, and then you stay in there, if you fall over another 1,000 times before you bust. It doesn't happen like that. It's not a mistake. It's something you think about. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you put your clothes on, you wear your trainers. I like Nike still, Nikes and Felix was cracking. You put your nice jacket on, your hat, New Eras if you're into that, and you either talk to the girl, you make your way to her, you sit there, you're burning, you know it's happening, but then you do it. It's not a mistake. It goes back to what we're talking about, struggle. It's actually quite a big subject, because a lot of people call Christians hypocrites because we say something and do something else. That's part of the struggle. There's a lot of people out there genuinely trying to live that life, but they struggle with certain things, whether it's anger, whether it's lust, whether it's fear, insecurities, lack of trust. It's all God comes back to that one thing, struggle. You can only struggle when you're trying to overcome something, or when you're trying to get somewhere. You're not struggling if you're not fighting something. So struggling, it shows that you're putting effort and energy to do something. So as a Christian, we struggle to please God. We struggle to live that life because of what we are predisposed to. We have a body, we have hormones, we have a way of thinking, we have things we learn as we grow up. In life, you're going to pick up things. You're a product of your environment. In life, you're taught certain principles that may not actually go with God. I remember when I was in a cab one time, and yeah, man, I'm just coming back from a rave with my boy. What's good, Roots? I'm exposing you still. Now I'm playing. We were coming back, and this was a cab driver. Yeah, I think I was 20. I think I was 20. Yeah, I was 20 years old. We just came out the cab. No, 2021, one of the two. Anyways, he drove us home. Uber cab. Respect Uber. We just got home in that. Was it Uber? Yeah, it was Uber. We just got home. No, it was another company. What am I saying? Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. We just got home, right? I was about to step out the car, and this guy gave me a word of wisdom that, wow, it surprised me at the time. This guy was like in his 40s, and he's West Indian, so I can't use the same accent. But he was like, nothing is more important as a man in life than slamming girl. Make sure you slam as much girl as possible. Nothing is more important. And for me, I was like, that's your word of advice. Yeah, of course I was gassed back then, so I was like, all right, cool. I looked at David, gave him a wink, stepped out the car, went to sleep. But when you become a Christian, that kind of thing just doesn't go. It just doesn't go. And part of the struggles as men, come on, it's a topic, is women. When summertime comes and clothes are flying off and they're wearing belts, calling it skirts, and they're wearing like strings and like shoelaces, calling it bras and that. Nah, mate, I see everything up in the PL. Oh, God. Yeah, I see everything. And it can be hard to control yourself. Especially whether you're single in a relationship, it can be hard to control yourself. Your eyes are wandering, puts pictures in your head. It's hot out, so your hormones transfer around your body faster, and it just becomes a tough, your mind gets so clouded, man, it's hard to think straight. And the reason why it's so, and that's the struggle right there, actually. That's the struggle. It's tough. It's difficult. When you're trying to stick on a narrow path, keep your mind clear and keep going. We struggle because we're predisposed to certain things. All human beings, we're made of the same stuff. Whether you're black, white, green, avatar, we're made of the same stuff. And that's hormones, that's chemicals in our body, that's the spiritual side of things that a lot of people don't know about. There's a spiritual aspect to this. There's a lot involved. And when you're trying to stick by certain principles you believe in because it's blessed your life and made your life much better, it becomes a war, and sometimes people fall. Sometimes people go and do what their urges say, and that's when you're pointed at as a hypocrite if you carry the name of Christian. It all goes back to this struggle. So we struggle is because of our sinful nature. A lot of people don't understand what sin even means. So let me try and make it easy for you, because it goes back to struggle. We struggle because we're fighting against our sinful natures. There's a godly nature and then there's a sinful nature. This sin actually means disobedience with God. Disobedience with a source. Yeah? Now imagine that you were created by something. Okay, let's say you made a Hoover. You have a Hoover in your house, right? It's not working right. What do? You discard it. You try and get it fixed, or you discard it. Or if you really like the tool, you try and fix it so it can work properly. Now imagine when the Hoover is not working properly, it's defective. That's the Hoover being sinful. Stay with me on this. I'm just trying to explain what it means from a godly aspect. I'm trying to keep it very basic here. The Hoover doesn't work, or you have a hammer. If you have trainers, right, the soles are gone and your toes are touching the ground as you walk. You either replace the sole, right, or you throw it away, right? Okay, so let's say I was created for something and I'm not working the way I should be working, but there's a manuscript out there that shows how I should be working. The part of me that isn't the defect, basically. That's the sinful nature right there. The defect is the sinful nature. So the struggle comes from that defect. Nobody's born perfect. Whether you believe in Christianity or not, it comes back to us both saying, oh, I'm not perfect, when we make mistakes. We know we make mistakes. Sometimes we do it on purpose, but we make mistakes. And that's sin. That's what sin actually means. The flaws that make you do things you shouldn't be doing. That's a very, very basic aspect. So for that, it's a very, very deep conversation actually. If you have any comments, please leave it below and I'll try and answer the questions. If there's anything that wasn't clear to you, please ask as well. And that's the end of this episode. I hope she helped you. I hope the whole struggle aspect is much clearer to you. Bless John Rochi. See you all soon.
So obsessed with the money and the fame, dying to make a rep. We're not happy with our names. Get ourselves to a point, but in the end, it's all the same. Only a matter of time.